Hey folks, Lemonade here. Today I get to feature a brand on this channel that I've always wanted to showcase, Vaxee. Yep, I finally worked my way up for them to send me a product to review, and we're starting off our Vaxee journey with the legendary Vaxee PA mousepad. And of course it had to be in the stunning lemonade yellow colorway. Let's check it out right after this.
They are attacking me. Many thanks.
They're hitting me! Stop hitting me!
That is futile. Impossible. The eye seeks blood.
Small disclaimer here, folks. Vaxee did send me this mousepad free for review, but that will never change the outcome of any review on this channel. My opinions are always my own, and you are seeing this as early as Vaxee is. Also, if you decide you do like this video, don't forget to like and sub down below. It does really help the channel out a lot. Thanks. Okay, folks, let's knock out the specs. Of course, we'll put them up in this corner here so you can check that all out. It comes in plenty of different color options and designs. You can even get them customized if you want a more personal touch. Price goes anywhere from about $21 US to $39 for that customized version. On the desk here, we have the 470 by 390 size pad. So in terms of design, what we have here is that Y22 color, and of course, I love it, but frankly, there are so many options that Vaxee offers, which are pretty versatile for any desk setup, that you should find something that you like easily. I love when companies give you so many options to add some flair to the pad. Kudos, Vaxee. Now, the pad itself is a more traditional feeling cloth, has a nice uniform X and Y. Humidity resistance is good, to be honest, maybe a touch worse than the GSRE Rouge or PureTrak CL1, but nothing awful. And again, my office is fairly hot in the summer months. Right now in the winter, it's okay, but I definitely live in a pretty hot and humid state in the US. Base does seem to be a synthetic rubber, similar to what you would find on Zowies or X10 pads. Works really well and have had no issues on either of my desks. Now, of course, we have a non-stitch edges here. You can obviously see that. Now, some folks have a fear of that they're going to wear out over time. I don't know. I mean, all I could say is I've put a heavy and consistent use on my X10 control pad, which also has non-stitch edges, over the past 3 to 4 months. So looking at the Vaxee here, I don't see any cause for concern, but I am always wearing a gaming sleeve, so that could be a factor in the wear. Now, this pad is fairly centered in its glide characteristics, but it does lean towards being control focused. So how does that boil down for our famous skate glide rankings? So I'd have to say Tiger Ice skates are going to be your fastest style skates, followed by Core Pad Air skates, those ones with the kind of a dotted texture on them. PureTrak Pure Glides, highly underrated, review on my channel, you can check those out, come in at third. And then stock PTFE follows that. Obviously, that's going to differ quite a bit depending on the shape and brand, but the Pulsar skates are quite good on these. And last place is obviously Class. Class just definitely feels the muddiest on control pads, especially during a longer gaming session. You're going to notice that on your smaller inner hand movements, and especially those larger dynamic sweeps, guys, just feels like mud. Okay, so now let's get to the surface itself. I'm going to be comparing this with the Zowie GSRE Rouge and that PureTrak CL1, as they all seem very similar in their characteristics. So let's start off with the GSRE Rouge over here. Again, non-stitch edges on this. It's the same size as the PA I have over here. There are no other size options beyond this one size. It also only comes in one color. Now, as I always said, there are other GSRs that come in blue and black, but they do have different surfaces, actually being a little bit slower than the Rouge. It retails for $35 USD. Overall, it's a very similar pad to the Vaxee, but I would have to say the Vaxee is a touch slower on those kind of long and fast dynamic swipes and inner hand adjustments. so the Rouge is a bit faster. Now when we look at the PureTrak CL1, again we have non-stitch edges. It does have the largest size of the three by default, and yes, there are multiple design and color options here, just not as many as Vaxee, and it retails for as low as $16 US and up to $26 for this 482 millimeter size that we have here. This pad, along with all other PureTrak pads, are made in the USA, so that's a pretty neat distinction compared to these two. Kind of rare to see among mouse pads. I will also add that PureTrak is the thickest of all the three here at 6 millimeters. Now, it doesn't really bother me, something you can get used to, but some folks really don't like thicker pads and they prefer something a bit thinner, like the 3.5 millimeters on the Vaxee and the Rouge. So, going into how it actually performs, again, the difference is quite subtle here, but I would have to say that the CL1 is the fastest of the three. But again, I want to repeat that it's not a massive difference, but it is there. Okay, so overall thoughts and recommendations. I do think that the Vaxee PA is definitely the more control-focused of the three by a little bit, so it'll have that bit of an advantage on games like Valorant and CSGO. On the flip side over here, the PureTrak gives you a nice touch of speed that makes it a bit more versatile for some games. It'll be a better pick for titles like Apex, Fortnite, Warzone. And then the Rouge just kind of sits in the middle, but it almost seems kind of lost as to what it wants to be doing. Also, the cost is something to consider, and availability depending on where you are in the world. The performance, honestly, across the board here is fairly close, so I don't think anyone looking at these pads should feel bad about picking one of these over the other. So go with what looks best for you aesthetically and is most reasonable, including those shipping costs. I can't help you with Vaxee or Zowie in terms of pricing, but I am actually affiliated with PureTrak, so you can use my code found in the description down below to save a few bucks if you end up going this particular route. Now, at the end of the day, if someone wants me to rank these to kind of clear things up a little bit, I think the PureTrak CL1 and the Vaxee PA are tied at first for me personally. I kind of go back and forth depending on what I'm looking for. And the Rouge is just in a last place of just not feeling, again, really like it knows where it wants to be with its particular performance characteristics. And on that note, folks, all my socials are down below like usual with any affiliate links and discount codes. If you had a good time with me today, likes and subs are always appreciated. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. But until the next Fresh Squeeze video, stay thirsty, folks.